Good afternoon, YouTube. Well, we're just going to make this a short video and just do one story since apparently people seem to like having short videos. They don't spend a lot of time in them most of the time, so we'll go ahead and just do a short one and see what kind of views we get off from it. At any rate, let's go ahead without ado and move right to that. It says former Obama AG Eric Holder held in contempt of Congress charge again. Oh my gosh. Ignores Constitution and says DOJ should stop the 2020 election audit of Maricopa County. Mercy. Look at this loser. A crook who gets away with crimes is more likely to commit more crimes. This is human nature, and this is Eric Holder. Obama's first U.S. Attorney General was arguably the most corrupt AG in U.S. history. He was the only AG ever held in contempt of Congress charges. This was for refusing to address the concerns of Congress related to the Fast and Furious campaign. Now the corrupt former AG is urging the department he once led, the Department of Justice, to interfere in the audit taking place in Maricopa County, Arizona. Unfortunately for Holder, the Constitution of the U.S. and of Arizona allows the U.S. Senate to perform an audit of the county's 2020 election results. Interfering with this audit would be against the U.S. and Arizona state constitutions and would therefore be illegal. No duh. The Democrats are trying to label the audit a mess, and the polished former AG Holder calls it a fraud, but nothing could be further from the truth. Former Attorney General Eric Holder offered strong words of condemnation on Monday for what he called a fraud after MSNBC's host Rachel Maddow brought up recent controversies related to voting rights in the GOP-led Arizona Senate audit in the state's most populous county. All the things they are doing now are counterproductive. They're without basis, and they will hurt. They will harm our hard-won democracy. We're not a democracy, we're a constitutional republic. Holder said, referring to the Maricopa Review and similar efforts sprouting in places across the country as former President Donald Trump pushes claims of fraud in the contest.
It seems to me that there's a number of sort of clear and present danger, points of clear and present danger right now for our democracy. Obviously, in Republican-controlled states everywhere in the country, we're seeing very, very aggressive efforts to roll back voting rights. Also, quite worryingly, to put partisans in control of key parts of the voting process, including opening up new possibilities for challenging or overturning election results and putting that power in the hands of partisans. We're also seeing this, I think, unprecedented interest on the Republican side with having these partisan, third-party sort of sham audits and recounts where they are accessing real ballots and real voting machines and essentially going back over them without any of the controls that are supposed to apply to our real voting system, essentially to cast doubt on the results. Should the Justice Department, whether or not those reforms are passed, should the Justice Department be involved as a sort of backstop trying to stop any of those three components of what we're up against right now?
Yeah, I think the Justice Department has got to be involved and has to be aggressively involved. You know, that fraud that is going on in Arizona now might seem, for whatever reason, as something that Republicans want to support for short-term gain. I don't know exactly what it is, but it clearly will do long-term damage to our democracy if it raises in the minds of people in this country doubts about the effectiveness, the integrity of our electoral system. Let me be clear. There is absolutely no indication that the last election was conducted in anything other than an appropriate way. Record numbers of people got to the polls, had the ability to express their views. Those votes were counted in appropriate ways. Republican state officials responsible for the counting of the votes did their jobs well. Trump's, attorney general, who I have lots of problems with, indicated that there was no fraud. in the election. And so all of the things that they are doing now are counterproductive. They are without basis, and they will hurt. They will harm our hard-won democracy.
But isn't there something beyond that, though? Knowing that they are hurting our democracy, knowing that they are inappropriate and unwise, as the way you described, is a criticism of them for doing it. But shouldn't there be somebody who's stopping them? It occurs to me that when Pam Karlan, who's acting as the head of the Civil Rights Division of the Justice Department, sent a letter to Arizona warning them that what they were doing in that fraudit, as you described, was illegal, was a violation of federal law in terms of the way that ballots and voting machines are supposed to be handled.
Okay, I think that's about all I can take of that. Obviously, these people don't know their Constitution, or they know that we're a constitutional republic. At any rate, I think that's about all we got to say about that one. At any rate, this is Don V with Truth Be Told, and we are out of here.